Hi, it's John the Van Guy. My today's project is a Porsche, my Porsche 986, the 2004 3.2S model. Both springs on the front were broken. I was getting a horrible noise every time I went over a rut or a bump, and took it in locally, and the chap said, quoted me £700 to replace the springs. He said both springs were broken. So looking on the internet, I came across a guy called Dan Sutchik, I think, beginning with a T. Very helpful, and he was doing a 997 and 996 where he replaced all the springs, but didn't use a spring compressor. This is on the front, that is, on the front springs. So I thought I'd have a go, save some cash. So these are the bits you're going to need. Spring, the top plate, the bearing, unless the bearing comes with the top plate, a bumper stop. Oh, and there's also, while you're at it, a rubber sleeve which I've got somewhere, the rubber bellows, which goes over the, where's that? Oh, there it is. And there is the rubber bellows. Okay, so that's probably all you'll need. Now, so jacked up the car and taking the wheel off. On these Porsches, you usually find the wheels tend to stick, just as a little tip. Getting behind when you jacked up and bashing it with a good rubber hammer as the wheel turns is a good way of getting the thing off. And for this job as well, it's very handy to have a torque tool. I use this electric great tool, Milwaukee. So impact drill, which is a torque up to about 320 nanometers. So it's a good drill. Either that or an earth tool if you've got it, because what you're going to have to do is, this is the top mount is under here. So the big thing is, once everything's set up, you'll be releasing this bolt at the top. Now everything turns, so you won't be able to do it easily with an ordinary socket. You need some sort of torque setup. Either that, go to a garage and get them to loosen it for you. So the idea is, this is what we'll be doing. I'll take you step by step. This is according to that YouTube video I've watched. So here's the innards, and that's the spring, which is broken, snapped at the bottom here. So now I want to do it in situ, so I don't have to take the whole strut out. Now to do that, you've got to release a few things. First of all, this here, going to the brakes, you just release that bracket. There's a bolt there, I think it's a 10mm, and a sensor here. Just take that bolt out, another 10mm. So that's done. Now there's the swing bar, the link bar, which goes down on this side, that link bar there. Now you want to do it, take it off off the sway bar. It's just a bolt here, and you can undo that, so you loosen the bottom end. So that's loosened. So then you need to jack up with another jack up this suspension, and at the control bar, which is this thing here, there's a big bolt runs the way through. And all you got to do is, it's an 18 one end and a 16 at the other. So all you've got to do is loosen that. Just make that loose so the thing can go, the control bar can go up and down when you need it to. because you're going to, the idea is to drop this whole suspension, loosen, take it off the top bolt, drop the whole suspension carefully, because you're going to have it mounted on a jack, and you should be able to, and I found this, it does work from the other side. Once you've undone, you don't need to do the top plate yet. Once you've dropped the whole unit, this will swivel forward, and you'll be able to take, with a bit of messing about, you'll be able to take the actual spring off on all the bits and pieces inside, which will need replacing. What you need to do is take a note of where of the order of things. There's another washer in here, there's 2 washers in there. Make sure you put everything back in the same place. Take photographs, which I always do, and on the web you can actually download a picture of what should be there. So that's what I intend to do. So the first thing is to jack this up. Oh, by the way, when you're retightening the control arm bolt, what you're going to do is put the thing under tension again. You don't want to retighten with the suspension dropped. Puts too much strain on the bushing inside here. So you want to lift it again with your jack and tighten up while it's under load. Right, I think that's everything I can think of. And I've done this on the other side, and yeah, it worked beautifully. So we'll see. I'll do this in stages. So basically, the trailing arm, take that off, and loosen that. Undo the top with a torque wrench. In the guy doing the 996997, there's something in there. He used a fancy socket with a hole in it, and he had a lead coming out of there. I don't have all that to worry about, but there's nowhere to put something to actually stop the whole thing from turning. So that's why you need a torque wrench or something, a torque tool, to actually get this thing off. But it will work. It does work. So there we go. That's phase 1.